Yes. I'm trying to put this on, sorry, not TikTok, YouTube. Yes, I'm trying to put this on YouTube because yo, content creation is so hard. Like when I started doing content, I gained so much respect for content creators, like at all levels. Hey, thank you for coming. I gained so much respect for content creators at all levels, like amateurs all the way to like super professional. Hi, if you're in my live, go ahead and leave a comment. Even if you're not staying, leave a comment. Let me shout you out. Let me say, hey, let me say thank you for coming by name. Um, yeah, but when I started doing content, my big age of 45, that's when I gained so much respect for content creators at all levels because it is a lot. It is a lot. If you are here, please go ahead and tap the screen. If you're sticking with me, if you're sticking around, go ahead and tap the screen to like the live. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. Beautiful look African braids. Good to see you. Nana, Kim Brand, Sue Sule, Susie Q. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I see the nurse. Thank you for stopping by. Yes. So I hope this doesn't look too weird on y'all's phones. I guess I'll find out later. But I'm doing landscape because I'm trying to put this on YouTube. I'm recording this for YouTube later. Yes. So, hey Kim. Hey, thank you for leaving a comment. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So this live isn't going to be very long. I usually go live for like 3 to 4 hours on Sundays, but this isn't going to be very long because today's the Super Bowl and I am rooting for the Seahawks. So if there's any Patriot fans in the house, get ready to lose. Now, I'm not an avid football person. Like I'm not. So I don't know about stats. I don't know. I really don't know how each team has done. I just have like a long-standing aversion to the Patriots. Yeah, for like 20 years now. I just don't rock with the Patriots. Yes. So I typically root for any team that they are playing. So tonight I will be rooting for the Seahawks and I hope they win. But yeah, so this live today is a little bit earlier than when I usually go live on Sundays because of the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. So go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. Usually these lives, I like to give free advice. I like to give free support. Yeah. People, women who are looking to get healthy, particularly if you're over 40, particularly if you're busy as shit, right? You are balancing so many things. You're balancing career, business, family, kids. You know, once we get into our 40s, our parents are aging. So now you're also balancing aging parents or aging guardians, aging members of your family, right? Yes. So you have all this stuff on your plate. And for many of us, we backburnered our health. That's what we did. That's what we did. That's what I did. Yeah. I backburnered my health. My health was not a priority. For me, I came up in faith community. And so part of what made me backburner my health and abandon my health, at least mentally, was this notion of, oh, I'm serving in the church. I'm valuable to the people of God, all of that. Yeah. So my lives are about unpacking all this mental mess, right? What what leads us to backburner our health, and how can we reclaim our health and our well-being after we have spent decades looking after and caring for everyone else? Yeah. So that's what my lives are about. And I might repeat that several times just for people who join new. Hey, Franzi, thank you for your question. And a 3 months postpartum mom start exercise? Yeah, it depends. So it's very important, Franzi, that you work with your doctor. And the reason I can't really answer that definitively for you is for your safety. I don't know the conditions of the birth of your beautiful child. Yeah. I don't know the conditions. For me, I had pretty traumatic, not traumatic, that's a little of a stretch, but pretty difficult births for my two children, right? Yeah. So for me, I had C-sections and I wasn't even healthy to begin with. Yeah. So for me, getting back to exercise 3 months PP wouldn't have made sense. Yeah. So it depends on, the situation. How did the birth go? What were your birth related, I don't want to say injury. That sounds like too heavy, but like, what was the toll on your body as you brought life into the world? That's really what's going to determine how soon you can get back. And even after getting back, my love, it's about intensity, right? So you can get back, but you might not be getting back the way you used to. Yeah. So you need to be careful with the intensity. I also don't know if you are nursing. Are you nursing, right? So are you nursing 24/7? Are you nursing with supplementation? Because the energy requirements of your body are definitely gonna change. Yes. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I don't want to be irresponsible and just tell you, oh yeah, girl, you can go ahead and get back. No, like you need to work with your doctor, get the go ahead from your doctor. And then even when you get back, I want you to really ease into it, because bringing life into the world is no joke. Okay. It's no joke. Congratulations on your baby. Yes. What kind are you recommending she starts with? Yeah, I just answered that. Yeah. So just ease into it. Yeah, ease into it, be gentle. I would start like, assuming you have the go ahead from your doctor, I would start with like light cardio. I don't know where you are. Right now where I live, DC, it's like brutal winter right now. So you might start with like a walking pad in the house. You can get one of these walking pads from Amazon, and you can start with a walking pad for like maybe 10 minutes. I prefer that you do short sessions multiple times a day than trying to fit like a whole like 30 minutes or 1 hour. It might be too taxing on your body. Yes. So I prefer maybe you do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, and then 10 minutes like in the evening. That will ease you back in more and also prevent you from pushing yourself too far and then having a setback because you pushed yourself too far. Does that make sense? Yeah. So congratulations to you. And just, be kind to yourself, be kind to your body. And you just realize like the amazing, just incredible woman that you are, bringing life into the world. Go easy on yourself, give yourself grace, and you will get back into things. But 3 months postpartum, I've heard people refer to the first 3 months of a baby's life as the fourth trimester. So we have 3 trimesters in utero, but then there's the fourth trimester, which is the first 3 months of their life. So in many ways, you look at it like you're still pregnant. You're just pregnant with the baby outside of your body as opposed to inside. Yeah. And I like that view because it allows me to give myself more grace. There's so much in our culture about like, oh, she snapped back, bounce back, snap back. I don't do that. Yeah. It's motherhood is pressure enough, right? Than to then have the additional pressure of like, oh, now you need to have your body look like it looked before you got pregnant, like immediately. No, no, don't do that to yourself. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. Thank you for liking the live. Go ahead and tap your screen, like the live. C-section mom, yeah. So even more reason. Yeah, C-section mom. Franzi, even more reason why you just really have to go slow. You really have to go slow. In fact, one thing that I recommend for postpartum moms is to focus more on meditation, believe it or not. Yeah, nothing wrong with physical activity, but almost like focusing more on meditation and focusing more on like grounding yourself, like in your soul, in your spirit. Because, like I said, in motherhood, like, I don't know if it's your first child, I don't know what number child, but like, I know for me, I have two, and my babies are 5 years apart. And so I feel like by the time I had my second child, my body had forgotten what it felt like to be pregnant. So When I had my second child, it was like having my first all over again. Yeah. I didn't have them back to back. So I didn't have like the memory like in my body. Like I've heard, like some of my friends have told me who had their kids back to back. They're like, oh, it's just, my friends have said like, oh, I was pregnant for like 4 years, because they had like their 2 or 3 babies like back to back. Okay. My babies are 5.5 years apart. Yeah. So for me, it really felt like I was having my first child all over again, just in terms of the experience in my body. And then I was also older. I had my first child at 30, I had my second child at 36. So I was a geriatric mom, like once you clock 35, like everyone in the OB, everyone in the health, they call you like a geriatric mom. Yeah. So, and I felt every bit of it. Yeah. So, and then you now add a C-section. Yeah. C-sections are major surgery. The fact that they have you in and out in 20 minutes is not an indication of like how major that surgery is. They are cutting through 7 layers, like 7 biological layers of your body, to get your baby. So it's no joke. It's no joke. I typically don't play with the gravity of childbirth, of pregnancy and childbirth. Like it's no joke at all. So please be kind to yourself, be kind to your body, give yourself grace, give yourself time, and enjoy your brand new baby. I don't envy you though, that those screaming nights. Mm. Okay, you're nursing exclusive, yeah. So you've told me everything that makes me say, just go slow. Go super slow. Super slow. Super slow. Yeah? Congratulations to you. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome, Franzi. 2 under 2. Woo woo! Back to back. Yeah. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. A boogie can't fit in the hoodie. I don't know what that means. Know what that means. Could you explain it to me? Yes. Thank you for being here, y'all. Yes. So we're talking today about breaking the start stop cycle. Breaking the start stop cycle. Start stop cycles are so common for women who are busy holding life up for everyone else. Yes. And that's not the only reason for start stop cycles, but that is one of the major reasons, right? Particularly for women, particularly if you're in your 40s, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s. Yeah. You are busy holding life up for everyone else. And this is not just family. I'll tell you one thing. I am anti elitist when it comes to relationship. Okay. So I am not one of those women that somehow, subliminally believes that like women with like partners and children and, like the traditional family are somehow, more busy or no, I don't believe that bullshit. Okay. So when I say holding everyone's life up, I literally mean in all different kind of ways. So it could be a family. It could be, you're a single mom and it's kids. It includes your parents or your guardians. It includes siblings. It includes your community, right? So women are the glue. We are like the glue of society. We are the glue of community. And so when I say like you're busy taking care of everyone else, I literally mean that. Literally like every single one else, like, checking on your neighbors, keeping track of, yeah, like all that labor. And so when you have that as a lifestyle, and for many of us, we may not have necessarily chosen that, like cognitively and like deliberately, like fully chosen those roles, a lot of times we just find ourselves in those roles. Yes. It leads to back burnering. That's what I call it. You back burner your health. And that's what I did for decades. Yeah, that's what I did. You back burner your health and you keep telling yourself things like, oh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And then when you try to start, when you start a plan, or you start a diet, or you start an exercise plan, or you start a program, or you join a gym, or whatever step that you take to start getting healthy or improving your health, here comes life. Here comes urgency. Here comes crises. Here comes emergencies, right? Emergencies that you did not kick off, right? You did like you are not the reason for the emergency, but here you go, you know, miss save a day, save the day, right? And so all these interruptions come in, and before you know it, you've stopped what you started. And so that was the story of my life for the better part of 20 years, literally, for the better part of 20 years. And because of that cycle, I ballooned to almost 400 pounds. And so that picture you see, this picture right here, this is me. This is me. I think I was 34 in no, I was no, this was after my daughter. I was 37 here. Either 30s, no. Am I lying? Like 39. Yeah, I was almost 40 in this picture. Sorry, I'm just trying because this picture was taken. I was on a trip to New York City with my girlfriends, and I took that trip. My daughter, yeah, I think I was like either 39 or 4 no, because I turned 40 during the pandemic. This was 41. Sorry. Okay, I got the age now. So I was 41 in this picture because I turned 40 in 2021, and then we took a trip to New York in 2022. So this was like, when the pandemic started resolving. Yes. So I was 41 in this picture, between 41 and 42, and I was almost 400 pounds. If you are here, please could you tap your screen to like my live? It helps me with ratings. It helps me with visibility. It just helps me on the TikTok platform, and it costs you nothing. Thank you, Poetical. Thank you, Alux for Life, for liking the live. Thank you, Cherry K. Thank you, Know Your Worth. I appreciate y'all so much for the support. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So, yeah, so I was 41, 42 in this picture right here. Yeah. And I was approaching 400 pounds. Yeah. Right now, I am 200. Sometimes, sometimes 205, sometimes 198, sometimes, but right around 200 pounds. Yeah. And so, and I accomplished this at 44. So I locked in, I'm going to be 45 in a couple weeks. I turned 45 February 28th. So happy birthday to me in advance. But yes, so I accomplished this at 44 years of age. And I have quote unquote been trying to lose since I was 20, 19, 20. So do the math. Do the math. So this is like 2 decades in the making. Thank you, Franzi. Thank you. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you. So this is 2 decades in the making. And the main reason that I decided to go public with my journey and my story is because I want to represent a particular subset of our society, women over 40 that have been obese for years. Okay. So we ain't talking about no, you just add a little bit of weight in the last year. No. Mm-mm. Like I represent women that have always been big, right? I topped over 300 in my 20s. So I have been above 300 pounds for over a decade consistently. Yes, consistently. And so I'm not really here for everybody. And that's not to say that you're not welcome. You are very welcome. I love you. Yes. But I am not here for everybody. I have a very specific target group because I don't believe that I can speak with authority to just anybody. Yeah. I can only speak with some level of authority and integrity to women whose experience I have. Does that make sense? Yes. A Lux for Life says, that's me. Yeah. Tell me your story. Yeah. Lost 80 pounds and going to lose another 50. Congratulations to you, A Lux for Life. Congratulations, 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 congratulations. That's amazing. Do you know what 80 pounds is? 80 pounds is like 2 like elementary school kids. Like 2. One here and one here. Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations to you. That's amazing. If you don't mind, if you can tell us like how you did it. The reason I always ask for like how you did it or how you're doing it is because I want people to see that there isn't just one way. A lot of times out there, people talk like, oh, the only way, this is the best way. No, No, there's nothing like the only way. There's nothing like the best way. There's only the best way for you. That's like a big part of my coaching. I coach women now. I got certified by Nesta, so I am a certified coach. Yes. I went through a course, I took the exam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I coach women now. And one of my biggest things in my coaching is the customization of a plan, because it has to fit your life. It has to. So that's why I reject this idea. Oh, it has to be this way. It has to be low carb. It has to be keto. I never did low carb. I never did keto. I never did. I never cut carb. I never did. Yeah. So, but that doesn't mean cutting carbs is bad. I know people who have done amazing on keto, who have done amazing, So I like to ask that question. How are you doing it? Let people see that, oh, okay, this way works, that way works. So then you have the freedom to then, craft a plan that fits your life. And if you need help doing that, just reach out to me. The link is in my bio. Just reach out and we can work together. I can support you in discovering that plan that is consistent with your current life. That's very key. Your current life, not your imagined life, the life you wish you had. The life you wish you had doesn't exist. The only life that exists is the life you have now. Okay. The life you wish you had does not exist. And so it doesn't make sense to be creating any plan based on the life you wish you had or the life you want to have. There's nothing wrong with the life you want to have, but understand that the life you want to have is not a reality, at least not yet. Yeah. So thank you for liking the live. Everyone who's liking the live, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. It really helps. It helps with visibility. It helps with rankings. It helps, it just helps me on the platform. Thank you. Alox for life. I tried gastric sleeve and gained back all. You've lost it with GLP. Wonderful, wonderful. Now I'm adding working out. Perfect. That's great. That's awesome. You know what I love about that story is like something failed, but she didn't quit. And forgive me if I'm misgendering you, but I'm just going by your profile picture. She tried something and it didn't work for her. Right? It didn't work. I'm not going to say it didn't work because I have friends who did the gastric sleeve and it worked, but it didn't work for her. But what I love about that story is that she didn't quit. She didn't say, oh, I tried, I failed, I guess it's not for me. I actually got to that point in my life where I felt her. Okay, thank you, Alux. I actually got to that point in my life where I basically said, you know what, it's not worth it. I don't need to lose. I was almost 400 pounds. I was like, that's how defeated I felt with my start-stop cycle. I had so many start-stop cycles. So many, so many, so many, so many, so many. There was even a time like I had gotten down to like 270. Can I tell you a story? I had gotten down to like 270. I need to find the pictures from that time. If I can find that, let me see if I can add it. You know what? Because I'm doing this on my laptop. So a lot more freedom. Let me see if I can find the picture of myself. Just bear with me. When I was 270, I got down to 270 and I felt incredible. I felt so good. And like everybody was just like, oh, Ari, you look so good, girl. Girl, you look so good, Like I was getting all the praise. Yeah, because like, yeah, I got down to about 270, 275. And everybody in my life was so used to see. Here it is. Oh, I'm so happy I found the picture. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I had gotten down to like, oh, let me rotate it. Okay. Hope you can see it. Let me blow it up. Oh, I love doing this on the laptop because you can just be a lot more. So this was me. Okay. Now this was before I had my daughter. I hadn't had my daughter by this point. So it was just my son. So I'm trying to think of my age. I was in my 30s. I was like, because I had my daughter at 36. I think maybe I was like 34 in that picture or like 33 or 34. Hey, Kay Morris, do you still have your gallbladder? I do. I do. I'm not sure why you're asking that, but I do have my gallbladder. Still have it. Yeah. So in this picture, it was I was about 270, 275. And this was the lowest I had been in years. I'm talking about like since my 20s. And I was like, I think I was like 30, I want to say 34, 33 or 34 in this picture. This was a Christmas party. And people saw me, everyone in my life was used to me fat. Okay? Everyone. I'm talking about the only people who knew me at a healthy weight were in high school. Once I got to college, I got fat. And everyone who ever met me since college knew me fat. Right? Only my high school classmates knew me at like a low. When I say a lower weight, I mean like under 200. Does that make sense? Okay. So when I popped up in this dress and I was feeling so good, y'all. I remember this party. Mm, I was feeling so good. Thank you for liking the live. If you're here, please go ahead and like the live, please. We're just having a little chat. Thank you for liking the live. Yeah. So I was feeling so good. And I pulled up in this dress. I remember where I bought the dress from. I think I bought it from, I don't remember where I bought it from. Anyway, but everyone at the party was like, Ari, you look so good, girl. You look so good. Ari, you look so good, And I was like 270, 275. And this was the lowest I had been in like a while. And I felt so good. I felt so, it didn't last. Okay. It didn't last. Let me look for like a picture after. Okay, well, this one here. Right. So this was definitely after that picture. This picture right here of me over here. But let me see if I can find another one. So it didn't last. And like I think when I gained back the weight after that time, I entered like a deep depression. I entered a deep depression. Like I because to me I was like that was the best that I had been in a while. And so in my mind I was like, if I couldn't sustain that, if I couldn't keep that going, like what's the point? Okay, so this was now me. I don't know if you can see it, but like I hope you can see it. But yeah, but this was me, like, you know I mean, face card don't decline, don't get it twisted. Okay. Face card don't decline. Don't get it twisted. If you're here, thank you for coming. Thank you. We're talking about breaking the start stop cycle with getting healthy. Hi, my name is Arit. I'm 45. I'm almost 45. I lost 160 pounds in about 15 months. And I'm just talking about like mental shifts to break the start stop cycle. Because getting healthy, there's no secret when it comes to getting healthy. There's no like holy grail. There's no method that no one writes. So what keeps us is the start stop cycle up here, right? So that's what we're talking about. For those who just joined, thank you for being here. So I'm just talking about my history right now and sharing pictures because I'm doing this on my laptop. So I have a lot more freedom to like share pictures and stuff. So this is good. So just having a little show and tell. So this was a vacation. It was my bestie was celebrating her 40th. And I think I was 42. Yeah, because we went in December. This was the December before I locked in to my journey. Because I locked in the following October. Yes. Because when I saw these pictures, y'all, I was, like, I'll be real. Like, let me see if I can find another one with me and my bestie. I was like the biggest girl on this trip. And I was the biggest girl by far. So it wasn't even like biggest girl, but like there was a girl that was just slightly, no, it ain't no slightly, And I just remember feeling very defeated. Because when I look at the rest of my life, like I had like quite a number of achievements. If you are here, if you have questions about getting, please drop your questions in the chat. Don't let me yapping. Don't let the fact that I'm yapping like stop you from asking your questions. I will shut up and I will answer your question. Okay, so don't feel like you're interrupting me because you're not. Okay, so go ahead and ask your questions and I will answer them. I felt very defeated because like by this point I had switched careers. I'm a software engineer. I became an engineer later in life. 38 years old. I changed careers. I used to be in public health, switched careers, So I'm this successful, software engineer. Purchased a house, like just in like other markers, right? Other markers of like life success. Like I had them. So in my brain, I was like, what is it about this weight thing? And I've been fighting this for years. And I felt cute. This was Puerto Vallarta, PVR. I'm not saying it right. Puerto Vallarta. Yes, in Mexico. Just a beautiful trip. I'll look for some other pictures. It was just an amazing trip. But like I was heavy. And like being that heavy, like I know I enjoyed it, but deep down I knew that I would enjoy it more. Because I still had the plantar fasciitis. I still had the back pain, the knee pain, the ankle pain, all of that. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for liking the live. So, this dress, I was hot as I was so hot. I was so hot. Let me look for another picture. I was so hot in that dress. But that was like the only dress that like, cause I searched high and low for dresses, y'all. And that was like the only dress, and it had to be purple. Cause like the celebrant, my bestie, it was like, oh, it needs to be purple, And so let me add another picture. Here's another one. I mean, because if we're going to chat, let's chat. You know what I mean? Like let's let it all hang out. Yeah. So so you see the other girls like in the back. Sorry, the pictures are covering my face, but you see the other you see my beautiful friends, just gorgeous. So it was supposed to be purple. That was the theme. This was like the birthday shoot, right? With the celebrant, my bestie. And she had gathered like, cause when you get to be like in your 40s, you're not trying to have like one friendship group. You probably have like seven, So what she did was she gathered all her friendship groups for this trip. That's what she did. She brought all of us together. Yes. So I am in a friendship group with one other girl with her. So it's three of us, but she had all these other, because when you grown, you ain't trying to have all your friends be friends with each other. Yes. And so that's what she did. So we were like 20 something women on this trip. It was just amazing. We were there for like 4 days, 5 days, 4 days, 4 or 5 days. It was just amazing. It was amazing. And like I had gotten so used to pretending that I was okay, in terms of comfort level, in terms of ease, the ease of moving through life. I had gotten so like I had gotten so used to just pretending that I was fine. I wasn't fine. I was enjoying the amenities. I enjoyed the hotel. We stayed at the Hotel Musai. It's a beautiful hotel. Like all that was great, but I wasn't great. It wasn't great. And so because I wasn't great, like the greatness of the trip, it couldn't be as great for me. But I put on a brave face. I put on a brave face and I showed up for my friend and she deserved it. She was turning 40 and she deserved it. But like when I came back from that trip, thank you for liking the live. Digital Gems, thank you for liking the live. When I came back from that trip, I think it did something to me. Like it did, because all these other beautiful girls you see in the purple, like they were in their 40s. We had some even approaching 50, just fabulous women. It was nice to meet all the friends of my bestie, all her other friendship groups. But sometimes when you see the caliber of people who are in your friend's life, like, I was kind of proud. I was like, girl, go ahead, like, we didn't have any drama. It wasn't any drama like, oh, I slept on the couch, so I shouldn't pay more, like, no, like we grown women. We're all grown women in our 40s, some approaching 50, like just fabulous, fabulous Black women, right? And so it was actually quite nice to meet all of them and just see like the caliber, like the quality of people that like my bestie also called friends. Yeah, it was very nice. But like, when I got home from this trip, like it did something in my brain. Like I wasn't yet ready for the change that I eventually got on, but it did something. Something clicked. Something. It was like, Ari, your window is closing, because I was 42 here, 41 or 42 thereabout. Yeah. So that's when I no 42, because I'm 2 years older than my bestie. So I was 42. Something clicked. Something clicked. It was like, for the first time, it wasn't about being cute. Like for the first time, it wasn't about being cute. It really wasn't. If you're here, please go ahead and like the live by tapping your screen. If you just tap, 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 it really supports me. It costs you nothing, but it really supports me as a creator on TikTok. So if you could like the live, I would really appreciate that. Just tap, 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 tap. Yeah. For the first time in my life, y'all, it stopped being about being cute. And that's what I realized. This trip, let me tell you something that this trip did for me. It made me realize that getting healthy for me was no longer about being cute. It was no longer about attracting a man. It was no longer about compliments. It was no longer about being attractive. No. Like, I realized that like my window for getting healthy and continuing the rest of my life in a healthier body was closing. That's what this trip did. And it still wasn't enough to like finally push me to like make like change. It wasn't enough, but it was one of the first steps for me. It was one of the first. And so if you are here, I want to hear from you. If you are here, yes, for you, Bella. Yes, I get that. Yes, for you, Bella. Thank you for being here. If you are here, put it in the comments. What was your tipping point? And when I say tipping point, I don't want you to hear tipping point that led me to change. It's okay if you're here right now and you still haven't made any changes. There's no judgment here. But what I want to hear from you is like, what happened to you or around you, or like what experience did you have that made it click in your brain? This is about health, right? Nothing wrong with wanting to be cute. Nothing wrong with wanting to be, attractive or whatever. That's fine. It's not vanity. But I want to hear from you, like what experience or what event like made it click that like, okay, this is a lot more than just whether I can fit in a cute dress. If you don't mind sharing, I would love to hear from you. Because for me, it was this trip. It was this trip in particular. The trip wasn't cheap, but I had this new career that I had worked my ass off to get into. And so now I have just a little bit of money. It's not a whole, just a little bit, but it was more than what I had for years, So I was quote unquote successful in that way, but I still wasn't, So like, what was it for you? What was it for you? What was it for you? What moment in your past made you think, I'm going to have to get this together at some point? Yeah, I'm going to have to get this together at some point. Yame Abaya, do you have loose skin? Yes, I do. Okay, so let me get rid of the pictures. I can bring them back if y'all want them back. But let me get rid of the pictures so y'all can see me. So yes, I do. So right here. It's actually one of the reasons I wore this dress for the live is just because I always get that question. I always get the question about loose skin. Every single live that I do, I always get the question about loose skin. So today I decided to wear something that allow me to show you my loose skin. So right here. See? So this is for the most part. It's a little bit of fat in here too. You know, a little wing. It's a little bit, yeah. See? But yeah, a lot of it is loose skin. Yeah. So I have it both arms. Yeah. And I'm probably not gonna look, y'all don't hey, look at that muscle definition. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play. Yeah, I don't know if you see it. Sorry, I just because I have been working hard in the gym. I have been working very hard. No, don't be sorry to ask, Yame. Yame says, I'm scared. Don't be scared, mama. Ain't nothing to be scared of. Yeah, don't be scared. Like, I get it, right? But it's not the end of the world. I have loose skin around my belly, too. See? So, see? And down here. Part of this is the C sections that I have. Just put on a little shapewear. Just put on some shapewear. You'll be fine. So don't be scared. Yeah. Queen Ewa Alabi, hi. Thank you for being here. Don't be sorry to ask. You can ask whatever you want. If I don't want to answer it, I won't answer it. But like, I don't want anyone to be scared to ask me questions. Just ask me whatever you want to ask. Yeah. A-Lux for life. I saw photos of me at my sister's 40th. A-Lux for life. Isn't it crazy how photos tell you the truth? You know how you have the weight blindness? I think that's what they call it on TikTok. Weight blindness, where like somehow in your brain you feel like you're okay, but you avoid mirrors. I avoided mirrors for the longest time. I would see even a reflective surface, like a reflective, like you're walking like down DC and the glass walls and like a reflective, and I would always avert my eyes, like I'm not trying to look at myself. But somehow in your brain, you still convince yourself that like you're okay. Picture will rid you of the delulu. Okay. Just one, I'm gonna put some more pictures of myself up so you can see what we're talking about. There's nothing like a picture to cure you of your weight blindness, like the delulu that like you are okay. Mm-mm. Nah, girl, you're not. Thank you for sharing A Lux for Life. Thank you. Queen Ewa, how did you achieve your new look? I wrote it up here. I don't know if you see. So high protein, lifting heavy, and eating breaks. I can't say the F word on TikTok because I get violations when I do that. So it's an F word, but I use eating breaks as opposed to that word. Yeah. So that's how I did it. Yame says, I just started today going to the gym. Good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's amazing. Tell me what you're doing at the gym. Are you doing cardio machines? Are you doing strength training? How old are you? If you are over 40, strength training is the fountain of life. Strength training is the fountain of youth. Strength training. Yeah. But that's amazing. You just started going to the gym. That's amazing. A Lux for Life says, yes. Yame says, my eating habits are scary. Oh, you don't want to. Can I tell? Just give me 1 second. You want to talk about eating habits? Give me 1 second. Okay? And then I'll pull up some more pictures and, we can chat. But just give me like 1 second. I want to get something. Okay. You want to talk about eating habits? Like your eating habit? And this is not a competition. Nyame, this is not a competition. Okay. So when I share these things, it's not a competition. It's to show you that you're not alone. It's to show you that however scary you think your habits are, there are scarier habits. Right? So I share what I share because I want the people who follow me and who derive, the people who listen to me, I want you to release self judgment. Okay. So that's why I share. I don't share to make it look like, oh, I was worse than you. It's not a competition. Okay. When it comes to being unhealthy, there's no need to compete. Yeah. But I do it because I want you to release self judgment, because self judgment will never serve your progress and your evolution. It never will. Yes. So that's why I used to eat like one box in a sitting, like this. See where it says family size? Like the idea is like this should be eaten by like a family. Yours truly used to eat this in one sitting. One sitting. So if you have out of control eating habits, you are in the right place. Okay. You are in the right place. This is welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. There's no judgment. There's no, like, we'll tell you the truth. Okay. Like, I will not lie to you. Okay. Over here, you get the truth, but there's no judgment. Okay. So release the self judgment. There's no need for that. It doesn't serve you. Self judgment does not. Accountability, yes, that serves you. Honesty serves you, but never self judgment. Okay. So if you thought that you're eating, just remember Arit used to eat like in one sitting. Like I would just eat and eat until it was gone. Until it was gone. Okay. So there is hope for you, my love. Okay. There is hope for you. Okay. Let me catch up with the comments. You're welcome, Queen Ewa. You're welcome. Nyame says, my son is training me, but he's military, so he wants you to lift weights. He's right. You never did that. That's fine. There's a first time for everything. But your son is right. I don't know how old you are, Nyame, but your baby is right. If he wants you to lift weights, he is right. That's how I went from this. So let me find like let me share some more pictures. So let me share some pictures of myself now, and then we'll go back to when I was a big back. And I'm still a big back, once a big back, always a big back. So, it's like alcoholism. Like you can have someone who's like 20 years sober, but when they go to meetings, they will still say, hi, I'm Arit and I'm an alcoholic. So that's my mentality with obesity. Like I will always be a big back up here, like, so there's nothing like trying to pretend. And I hate that. There's nothing like trying to pretend, oh, I'm smaller now, but I've always, no, it's like alcoholism. You could be 20 years sober, but you're still an alcoholic. Yeah. And that's the mentality that I carry personally. I carry that mentality and it helps to keep me sober. If there's any such term for people who've been morbidly obese, that mentality helps to keep me grounded. I will never be, even though I'm 200 pounds now, I will never be the same as someone who has always been 200 pounds. Never, never. I will never, even though I may look like them, but I will never metabolically, internally, mentally, in my soul, in my spirit, I will never be like someone who has always been 200 and never heavier. Yeah. So that's the reality. And I find that's something I teach my clients. I teach my clients to own their history. Stop denying your history. Stop denying the reality of your experience and your journey. Own it and turn it into power. Yeah. That's what we do. Own your history and turn it into your power. There's no need to deny or pretend. Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. For you, Bella said, tap y'all. Thank you for you, Bella. Go ahead. Tap, tap, tap. Tap the screen. Tap, 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 tap. Nyame, she said, wow. When I showed you the box of cereal, right? You were like, wow, yes. Wow is correct. So no self-judgment. Niame. Niame. Okay? No self-judgment. No self-judgment. Honesty is good. Be honest with your habit. But I don't want you to judge yourself because that will stop you from making progress. Yeah, that will keep you in a start-stop. When you judge yourself, you can't break out of that cycle. Yeah. So that's why I shared that. Yes. Okay. Da, da, da. Do you coach water F word? Not particularly. Not particularly. So I take breaks from eating. Sorry, I can't say the F word because I'll get a violation. But I take breaks. I take eating breaks regularly, about once a week. Yeah. With the women that I coach, they are all over 40. They all have wrecked metabolisms. And so a lot of my work is healing their metabolism, getting them back over 2,000 calories, and getting them into strength training. So I haven't been coaching for very long. So none of my clients have been with me long enough for me to feel comfortable to now transition them to eating breaks. I do not support wording when you have underlying dysfunctions in your metabolism and in your health. I don't support. And the reason is because wording is a stress. And so if you already have underlying stress, chronic fatigue, your metabolism is depressed, you already have all that going on, and then you want to add F wording on top of that, it's a recipe for disaster. Yeah. So to answer the question, I'm not against water F wording. I'm not against it. I practice it. But right now, as a coach, none of my clients are at the point where they're ready for that. Does that make sense? Thank you for the question. Does that make sense? Maybe if you check back in 6 months, then a couple of my clients will be ready for that. But none of them are ready because we're still doing a lot of healing. We're still doing a lot of foundational healing. Yes. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hey, Rosie. How you doing? Thank you for being here. It says I'm doing a 50-day water F word and you need coaching. Yeah, I can't do that for you. I'm sorry. Hopefully you will find someone who can do that for you. First of all, 50 days, in my opinion, is it? But it's my opinion. It's not a judgment on what you're doing. Yeah. But it's my opinion. But I am not equipped. I think the only person that is equipped to give you what you want is a medical doctor, and preferably a medical doctor with extensive experience with F wording. Yes. I wouldn't trust anyone else. I'm just being real with you. I wouldn't trust me. I wouldn't trust a health coach. The only person I will trust is someone that has been through 4 years of medical school, however many years of residency, board certified. You know what I mean? That's just me. Yeah, so find that and give them your money. Don't give me your money, give them your money. Yes, because 50 days is insane. But more power to you. I wish you all the best. Yeah. Rosie says, how do you break a bad habit if you are not happy with yourself? That is so real. That is such a real question. Like, if you're not happy with yourself, I know what that feels like. I have had many, many years that I have not been happy with myself. I think what helped me, and we can talk about this, what helped me to start the process of breaking my start cycles was I stopped negotiating with the price of what I wanted. I stopped negotiating with the price of what I wanted. Okay. So for me, the price of what I wanted was to cut out all the junk, right? All the cookies, all the candy, the ice cream. That was the price. for me. And I realized that for so many years, I kept trying to have my cake and eat it too. So I would always look for the diets that allowed you, when they say everything in moderation, okay, that is true. There's nothing wrong with that philosophy. But like when you're a real big, big back, like a big, big back, ain't nothing like moderation. Case in point. Okay. Once I opened the box, everything was gonna go. Everything. So it's like everything in moderation works for people who can eat in moderation. You know what I mean? That wasn't me. Yeah. So that was like a big thing for me. I kept negotiating. I didn't just accept this is the price. The price is the price. It was hard for me to accept that. So I kept looking for so let me give an example. When I tried to do keto, I really like General Tso chicken. The chicken that is fried in the batter and has the sauce is so delicious, right? Like I really like that. And so I was doing keto, but then I still wanted to eat the General Tso chicken. So you know what I would do? So I would buy the chicken and then I would wash the sauce off, make it more keto. Real talk. I would wash the sauce off, to make it more keto. Yeah. I think a big thing to break the start is to stop negotiating. I think that's what a lot of us do. We negotiate. Rosie says, I stopped eating some sweets. Yes, it's hard. Yes. Choose your hard. And I know many of us have seen that on social. It's the truth. You got to choose your hard. So let's talk about hard. Let's talk about hard. Stopping sweets was hard. Stopping, inhaling like 4 cupcakes in one sitting for me was hard. Stopping cereal, like as a whole, like I don't eat cereal, right? Stopping cereal was hard. You know what else was hard? Waking up and being unable to like stand because my plantar fasciitis was so bad, I would have shooting pains up my legs for like 10 minutes. That was hard. My back going out, being bedridden for like a day or 2 days because my back was hard. My face being covered in like crater, like just this cystic act, that was hard. Being unable to keep up with my children was hard. Feeling like my life wasn't mine because of all this compulsive eating, that was hard. So, like, I think unfortunately for us as human beings, we always compare hard to easy. Okay, let me help some of y'all. Nothing is easy. And I'm not even just talking about weight loss now, I'm talking about life. Nothing is easy. Your choice is not between hard and easy. Your choice is between hard and hard. Pick your heart. Stop falling for the lie. The choice is between hard and easy. It never is. Little Wurbel Zerbel says, Amen. Amen. Yes. I think that mental shift, and that's a lot of what I do with my clients. We work on mental shifts. Yeah. That was a huge mental shift I had to make because I kept looking for easy. Kept looking for easy. I want to choose easy. Between hard and easy, I want to choose easy. I realized that there's no easy. It's all, what are you going to do? I never used to eat protein. I never used to eat protein, y'all. I never used to eat protein. I was a carbaholic every day, all day, every day. Rice. I was a carb addict. And so when I started doing high protein, it was hard. What was harder was being almost 400 pounds. And I think once you realize that it's the choices between hard and harder, then you will choose hard. You got to choose hard because now it's between hard and harder. It's never hard or easy. It's never that. Stop looking for easy, y'all, because easy doesn't exist. That's like a little adulting for you. That's like a little grow up tidbit, right? Okay. I'm teaching that to my children now. You know, my daughter will be like, "Your mommy is so," you know, and I'll be like, "Life is hard," you know. That's what I tell. I'm like, "Baby girl, life is hard." Mommy, why does it have to be so? Then I'll tell her it will be easy when you're dead. Yes, I am one of those mothers. You know, I don't sugarcoat it. But that's what I told her. I said, when your life is done, that's when everything will become easy. But as long as you are alive, it's gonna be hard, baby girl. And then she wipes her tears and she's like, okay. And then I'll be like, but who's harder? She's like, I am. But who's harder? Who's tougher? I am, then it turns into like a pep, you know. But even for my children, I don't sugarcoat it. I never do. I never do. I never like make things easier for my children. I never lie to them that no, no. I want the children to know that hard because I didn't know that. I didn't have that growing up. Always expected things to be easy. I wanted things to be easy. And when things weren't easy, I felt cheated. I felt cheated. Like, why isn't it easy for me? And so because I felt cheated, I would self-sabotage. When things are hard, I tell them, yes, it's hard. Are you going to be harder? Are you going to be tougher? You're going to chicken out. And every single time my children say, I'm going to be tougher. I'm not going to chicken out. I'm not going to let this take me out. So that's like a mental shift that is so important. It's so, you just have to take your mind from here to here, right? Yeah. So it's hard. Do it. Do the hard thing. Stop wishing for an easier thing because it doesn't exist. The easier thing is what got you in this mess. The easier thing is what ballooned me to almost 400 pounds. So easy wreaked havoc in my life. That's what easy did. Because easy is not paying attention to the nutrition content. Easy is just grabbing anything and not planning. It's easy when you don't plan, when you're not deliberate, when you don't wake up maybe 30 minutes early so you can quickly, go to the grocery. Like that is easy, right? It's easy to sleep in and just grab whatever. It's easy to eat on the run. It's okay, but it will wreak havoc. It will introduce harder things. You know what I mean? So we're talking mental shift now, people. There's no secret to this thing. It's all here, right? So you're right. It's easier to just, eat a box of cereal. It's just right there. It's ready to eat. It's easier to just grab whatever. And then you wake up 20 years later and you don't have any padding in between your kneecaps because you're so big. You know? And so, yes, at the time, all those things were easy. But now look at the shit you're in. So to stem the bleeding, okay, and to begin to reverse the mental shift you must embrace is to do the hard. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it. You may desire an easy thing, but that doesn't mean you don't have the ability to do the hard. So that's the mental shift that we're all gonna make. I'm gonna make it, you're gonna make it. Do the hard thing. Do it. Negotiating. It's not gonna get easier. Like just do it. Oh, but I don't know. Okay, just do it today. Forget about tomorrow. Just do it today. Right? Just do it today. And when tomorrow comes, you can choose to go back to doing the easy thing. You have all that right. You have every right to just go back to doing the. But today, do the hard. Does that make sense? And I wasn't just talking to Rosie there. I was talking to everybody. Okay. So Rosie, I wasn't trying to single you out, girl. Okay. I'm here for you. Yeah. But I was talking to everybody. Okay. Thank you for liking the live. If you are here, please could you tap. Rosie said, I eat a lot of veggies. Girl, you are way ahead of the pack. But you feel you're stuck. Why do you feel you're stuck? You're stuck where? So just summarize your journey for me. Let me help you. Summarize your journey. Like, where did you start from? One meal at a time. Yes, one meal at a time. That's right. So where did you start from? Where are you now? Where are you going? And this isn't just for Rosie. If you are here and you want my support, just drop it in the chat. This is where I'm coming from. This is where I am. This is where I'm going. Coming from A, currently at B, going to C. Just drop it in the chat and let me see. Okay? So let me find some more pictures to share with y'all. Let me find some more pictures to share with y'all. Talking about, I didn't blur the face. So some of these pictures like have my friends in them, and like I don't want to share them because I don't want to like it's privacy and all of that. This is one picture like this. Can I tell you this picture I'm about to share? Like I thought I was so good. I thought I was good. I thought I was fine. So this was like a little bit after I had my son. A little bit. Nyame says, Rosie says, need lots of motivation. Okay, yeah, yeah, that could work. What trumps motivation is systems. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, but that's valid. It's very valid. Systems are better than motivation. Yeah. Nyame says, I went to find meals on your page. Yeah, I don't do meals. I don't do meals. I don't do this is what I eat. This is what I don't. And let me tell you why. It's because, like, you are like a different person, my love. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I coach. I coach so that we can figure out your meals. Like, the reason I don't share meals is because I don't want anyone copying me. It's a thing of principle for me. It really is. And I understand a lot of creators might do that. But for me, it's a thing of principle. The reason I don't share like those details, this is what I had today, this is what I had for breakfast, this is because I don't want anyone copying me. Yes, I don't. So I don't want to give you what to use and copy me. My content is mindset. My content is mental shifts. My content is principles. Yes. I don't want anyone to see me as a template. It's a principle thing for me. Maybe if I was like 15 years younger, I wouldn't be thinking this way. But I think in my grown ass mind, in my, big girl mind, I don't want to be anyone's template. I don't, yeah. And then, my meals are very repetitive. So if I shared my meals, you would get bored quick because I eat the same thing every day. I have like two breakfast options: eggs and toast or chicken and vegetables. That's it. That's it. Like, I don't eat anything else for breakfast. So you would be so bored if I started sharing, like, oh, this is what Arid eats in a day. You would be bored out of your mind. But the real reason I don't do it is because I don't want to be anyone's template. I think it's dangerous. I much rather work with you. Yes, I much rather take where you are. And let's talk about you, mama. And let's talk about what you can eat and how you can tweak this and how you can. I much rather spend time doing that than to spend time creating, like, this is what I eat in a day content. No. You, hey Shay Shay, how you doing? Good to see you, my love. Shay Shay is one of my mutuals. I'm so glad she's here. Hey, my love, good to see you. It's been a minute, right, Shay Shay? Yeah, I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back. Yeah. Yes. Rosie said, I Google it. Yes, that's great. We are all different. Exactly. Nyame says, I feel safe here. My work is done. My mission is accomplished. That statement right there, my work is done. Because that's the whole point. This is a safe space for big backs. This is a safe space for obese women. This is a safe space for always been obese women. This is a safe space for, I want to get healthy. I don't know. Like this, there's zero judgment here. There's truth, there's accountability, there's reality, but there's also encouragement, there's patience, there's grace, there's all of that. Yes. So I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you for being here. You are telling the truth because my son eats the same thing. Yes. You also been out a while. I know. Life be lifing, Shay Shay. One of my bestie's moms she passed away last month. Really hard. Really hard. So that's one of the reasons that I've been out of commission, so to speak. Yeah. I needed to support her. I needed to grieve. Still grieving. I just needed time. So I didn't want to show up on TikTok Live in inauthenticity. I didn't want to be inauthentic in here. Take some time. Good to see you. Yeah. So yeah, your son eats the same thing. Yeah. So that's one of that's a hack. That's but it doesn't work for everyone. I have some friends that can never eat the same thing twice in a row. And so if that is you, own it and do the best you can. If you genuinely cannot eat the same thing two times in a row, you're just going to have to make it work. But one of the biggest hacks for getting healthy and staying healthy is repeating your meals. Thank you, Shay Shay. Yes, I'll extend your condolences to her. Thank you. And her, because this is her second parent. Her dad had, yes, it was just really hard. And she's an only child. I literally needed like a month off. I just needed to be there for her. We've been besties for like over 20 years. One of my longtime friends. Yeah. So I had to be there for my girl. Mm. But I'm back. Yes. So I was talking about this picture. So this was like a couple years after I had my son. And I tell y'all, thank you for liking the live. If you're here, please go ahead and like the live. It supports me. It helps me. So you see this picture over here? We're talking about weight blindness. That's what led me to bring the picture up. We're talking about weight blindness. You see this picture over here? I believed that I was good. I I know the mentality I had during that. I believed that I was good, y'all. I really did. I was like, yeah, I'm good. No, I wasn't. So the Delulu is real. You know, the Delulu is real. It's real. Yeah. Yami, yes. Go ahead and DM me. Yes. I would love to hear from you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So the Delulu was real. Rosie, how did you? High protein, lifting heavy, and breaks from eating the F word. I can't say the F word because TikTok will flag me. But high protein, lifting heavy, and eating breaks. Before I adopted this protocol, I tried GLP. It didn't work for me. I was on the highest dose for 18 months. And in 18 months, I lost 10 pounds. And one thing that you won't really see advertised out there is that the GLP doesn't work for everybody. But you're never going to see it advertised because marketing, they got to market that shit. Yeah. But like, my doctor actually told me, she was like, there is a subset of people it doesn't work. And it's not because there's anything wrong with them. It's just their body chemistry just doesn't take, it doesn't take the drug. Yeah. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people. Yeah. So when the GLP-1 didn't work, I was like, okay. I guess the only option left now is surgery. And in my mind, I was like, no, that is insane. Because, like, and this is not, listen, I support surgery. I support weight loss surgery. I support the procedure. I support whatever. I think it was Alux for Life. She was here earlier. She had the gastric sleeve. Yes. Eating break. Yes. Equals yes. Thank you. Thank you, Shay Shay. But for me, the reason why I didn't go the surgery route is because deep down in my soul, I knew that I hadn't given it everything. Yes. Yes. So for me, my conscience didn't allow me to go. I have children. My conscience didn't allow me to go for that drastic solution, knowing that I hadn't given it like my absolute yes. So that's me. That's not to say that if you get WLS, that there's anything wrong with that. I support you, validate you. I'm here for you. Yes. So no judgment. But for me, I just knew that like, I'm not going to do that because I know I haven't given it my yes. And so when I locked in with high protein, lifting heavy, and eating breaks, that was giving it my all. And it worked. Lost 160 pounds. So it worked, giving it my all. But, I support WLS. I do. I support WLS. That's okay. Yeah. So this picture right here, I mean, face card, my face card has never declined. Okay. Never has. But I felt like I was good in that picture at that time. I was like, oh, I'm good. And you see my arm, like when I show you like my loose skin, it makes sense, right? When I show you the loose, because look at my arm. See how big my arm was. It's as big as my head, you know, it's ridiculous, So when you talk about loose skin, like that's just the reality. Depending on how big you were, depending on how much your skin stretched out, you're gonna have, the skin is not like fat. Yeah. And like skin is very elastic, and like you can stretch it out point where it can like come back. Yeah, that's like a real thing, right? Yeah. So my obesity stretched me out point. And so now that like I've come, yeah, they call them cooking arms. Yes. It was a creator that around Thanksgiving last year, it was a creator, I don't know his name, but he had made a TikTok. The only women allowed to cook Thanksgiving dinner, they need to have arms like this. It was so funny. It was such a funny TikTok. But he legit, he was like, if you don't have arms like this, step away from the stove. Oh, it was so funny. Cry doc. Hey, cry doc. Does lifting weights help with the skin tone? Uh, I know most people want me to say yes, but not really. So let me show you my arm. Right? So this is my arm. Right? So I'm not really good at making like muscle, like don't judge me, okay? But I just want to demonstrate something. And let me get rid of this picture. I'll bring it back if y'all want. So let's talk about it, right? So this is my arm, okay? And I'm making like a little bit of a muscle here, right? So you can see the definition here, right? You can see because I've been strength training for a year now, right? So you can see the definition. You can see some definition here, just a little bit. You can see like a bulge, right? Like that's my muscle. You see this here? So like I didn't have this before. I didn't have like you can even see, oh sorry, you can even see like my chest muscle there. Like there's, you can see my collarbone. Like I didn't have all this before. This was just all fat. Right? Yeah. So you can see there's like some definition, right? But then you have this down here. That is not going away except through surgery. So I can keep doing my bicep curls, which I'll do. I'll keep doing my tricep extensions, like I can keep doing all of that. But this here, like there's no muscle here for strength training to like change this, you need muscle there. So there's muscle here. There's muscle here, right? But there's no muscle here. This is just pure skin. And strength training doesn't train skin, it trains muscle. So wherever your muscle is, yes, that will tighten and that will, become smaller and that, yes. But there's nothing you can, surgery, that's it. But I'm not getting surgery. So this is fat and skin, all this here. Okay? Yeah. So yeah. You're welcome, Cry Doc. Yeah. So I know a lot of people out there will say, oh, just strength train, and it won't. It won't. You're just going to have loose skin. Now, depending on how much fat is underneath that loose skin. So this is loose skin, but there's also some fat here. Now, if I go like really aggressive, if I do like an aggressive cut, super aggressive cut, I could maybe lose some of the fats that are down here. But what that will do is so if you see it, it's still a little, see, there's like a lot to grab, because of the fat. If I lost the fat was down here through like an aggressive cut, the skin will still be there. It would just be a lot more papery. It will be flatter. It will be thinner. It will be more skin than fat. So the only way to really get rid of loose skin is surgery, y'all. It's surgery. So I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people will lie to you. And maybe they're not lying, they might just be ignorant. Yeah, but a lot of people will tell you, oh, just strength train, you will lose everything. No, you won't. You will lose the fat and you will build the muscle. Yes, and surgery is scary. Exactly. That's why I'm not getting arm surgery. I'm not getting arm surgery. I have accepted my loose skin. Yes, I have accepted my body. Exactly, for what it is. I'm healthier, I'm lighter, I'm stronger. I sleep better, I move better, I look better with the appropriate shapewear. I look very good. Let's put some after pictures. I've shown you a lot of before, so let's look at some afters. Sumaya, hi Sumaya, experiencing hair loss. So that's a hormonal thing. That's a hormonal thing. That's an adrenals thing. That's hormonal. That's adrenals. related to like some stress, assuming there's no medical condition, assuming that you want to talk to you want to talk with your physician. Very important. Yes. You want to talk to your physician. Yes. You do OMAD and intermittent. OMAD is intermittent. So OMAD is one a day, one meal a day. That's OMAD. I don't know what you mean by combining the two. Thank you, Cry Dog. Have a super Sunday. Yes, go Seahawks. Have a super Sunday as well. Thank you, Cry Dog. Thank you. Um, so when you say OMAD and intermittent, like OMAD is a type of intermittent. So I'm not sure like how you're combining the two, but it's quite possible that OMAD is too extreme for your body. It's quite possible. And one of the ways that your body is telling you that is that you're losing your hair. But I am not a medical professional. So, Sumaya, please talk to a medical professional. Okay, talk with a medical doctor. Let them do your bloods. Let them run bloods on you. Let them do tests. Yes, please. Okay? Yeah, I wish you the best. I can't say more than that. But typically, unless there's like an underlying medical condition, typically hair loss in women is stress. Your body is going through it, mama. And it's telling you by losing its hair. Yeah, typically, that's typically what it is. Yeah. But please talk with a medical professional. Okay? Wish you the best. Okay. So let's look at some afters. Yay! So let me see. I can choose. Okay, so there's this one right here. Oh, this was me. I remember this. So let me put this on. And this is like a before. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So this was like, I think I was 42 here. Let's see, 2000, yeah, 2023. I was 42. I was 42 here. And this was my cousin's wedding. Yes. It was a beautiful wedding too. But this was my cousin's wedding. Yes. And I was 42 here. 40, yeah, I was 42 here. And then let me look for an after. And the reason I'm sharing this is because weight blindness is real. Like, you will convince yourself that, like, you are okay when you're not, you know? And I know that was true for me. That was definitely true for me. I was not okay, but I convinced myself that I was because I was in denial. I was in so much denial. I didn't want to face the truth. And this was me. This was 2023. This was August of 2023. And this picture was April of 2025, I believe. This was before like a girlfriend date. I was going on a date with my girlfriend. Yes. And this was my cousin's wedding. So this was August 2023. I locked in to my health and fitness journey in October of 2024. So about a year after this, I locked in. This was April, May of 2025. So this was November, December, January, February, April. So this was 6 to 7 months after I logged in, was this picture here. Prior to this, I was unable to wear this dress. This dress had been in my closet for years. This white dress had been in my closet for years. I'm talking about years. And the time I bought this dress, I only wore it once because I bought it it was online. I forget the store. I bought it online. And when it came, I barely fit it. I barely fit this dress when I bought it. And so I only wore this white dress one time, and then it sat in my closet for over 10 years. It sat in my closet. The only reason I didn't get rid of it is because it was pretty expensive. And so I didn't feel good about getting rid of it. In my brain, I just kept saying, oh, I spent so much money. I spent so much money. So I held on to this dress for over 10 years. Now, even at this time, it fit. Now it's hanging. If I put it on now, it's gonna look like a sack a little bit. A little bit. Yeah. So I'm not showing this to trigger anyone. Let me explain. It's weight blindness. When I was this size, I thought I looked like this. When I was the size in the pink dress, in my brain, I looked like the white dress. The point of the picture. Awareness is very powerful. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. You can't, you can't, you can't. And so if there's still like a level of denial, avoidance, and pretending, then you're gonna stay in a cycle. That's the point. The point. That's why I'm sharing this. Sharing this. You cannot change, you cannot improve what you don't acknowledge. And I'm not sharing this to say I'm better than anyone. I'm sharing this to show you that for many years, Fartoon, thank you for liking the live, Fartoon. I'm sharing this to show you for many years, I was Delulu. I was Delulu. I was Delulu. I was Delulu. I went around convincing myself, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. And my health was deteriorating. I'm good, I'm good. And my knees were giving out. I'm good, I'm good. And my back was weak. I'm good, I'm good. And my heels were on fire. I'm good, I'm good. Yeah. The Delulu. Yeah. 2026, let's drop the Delulu. 2026, let's drop the Delulu. Yeah. It's no judgment. I'm not saying judge yourself. No, don't judge yourself. Or be honest. And this is coming from me. I did not get honest until I was 43. If you're younger than that, you don't have to wait until you're in your 40s to get honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, get honest. For me, I wasn't honest. I went through my 20s and my 30s, and I started my 40s, and I was still Delulu. I was still convincing myself, I'm okay. I wasn't okay. My health was deteriorated. I was pre-diabetic. I had metabolic syndrome. I was steps away from becoming a full-blown diabetic type 2, you know? Yeah. So that's why I'm sharing these pictures. Is because when I was in the pink dress, this size, I thought I looked like this in my brain, which is just insane when I look at it now, but like it's real, right? Yeah. So as a coach, I am not coaching what I haven't lived. And that's why I target, and I'll say it again, my target is over 40 women who have been obese most of their life. That is the group that I am authorized to coach because it is my life. It is there's nothing you will tell me that will shock me. Nothing. Nothing. I could probably do better than you. Like there's nothing, 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 nothing. Yeah. So much like, if you got like a little 20 pounds to lose, hey, good for you. But if you have over 100, I'm your woman. I'm your girl. Because I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Oh God, I know. Yeah, I know. And if you ask me, how did I do it? It was hard. You're welcome, little Wurbel. Wurbel Zwurbel. That's an interesting name. You're very welcome. Yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the live. Yeah. But yeah, like that's Why I decided to share my journey is because I want to represent the over 40 big backs. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for liking the live. Yeah. So the over 40 big backs. Thank you, Shay Shay. Thank you for liking the live. Yeah. Okay. So let's get rid of the picture. So do we have any more questions? I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to share my journey. I'm here if you have questions about what I did, if you have questions about what you're doing, if you would like to work with me, just send me a DM. If you would like to work with me, send me a DM and we can talk about it. So I have a number of like service types. Only one of them is ongoing coaching. The others is one time. It's like directed. Yeah. Lomo Dark. I'm losing weight, but my belly fat isn't going down. Congratulations on your loss. Congratulations on getting healthier. That's amazing. I will tell you that there was no change in my belly until the very end. I'm not saying it's going to be the same for you, but I'm just letting you know. My belly was the last thing to respond. My bust was the first thing to respond. Oh, God. That was hard. That was very hard for me. But my bust was the first thing to respond. And then my arms, and then my legs, my thighs, my butt. But my belly was the absolute last part of my body to respond to my protocol. So just be patient and stay consistent. Eventually your body will get there. Eventually. But you don't get to pick and choose where the fat comes off of. Yes. So you just have to be consistent. Eventually it will get there. But I know for me, it was the last thing to go. And it's not like it's even gone. What I mean is like it was the last thing to start. Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. Brenda Heard. Hey, Brenda, what did you do when you got to a point where you stopped losing? That's good. So a lot of people will say that's a plateau. I don't believe in plateaus. Okay. Just generally, I don't believe in plateaus because when you get to goal, that's a plateau. Think about it. When you get to goal, that's a plateau. It's a plateau that you're happy with. So conceptually, I don't believe in plateaus. What I see, what people call plateaus, I see it as practicing maintenance. So that's the mindset shift with the women that I coach. We never use the word plateau. The rule when you're working with me, you're not allowed to use that word. We frame it as maintenance practice because eventually you are going to reach maintenance. Maintenance is the real battle. You think losing is a battle. Yeah, it's a little bit of a battle. The real battle is maintenance because your body is not used to being that lower weight now. It's used to being a big back. Yeah. And so when you get to maintenance, your body is going to do everything it can to return to what it's familiar with. Yeah. So whenever someone says, oh, I have stalled or I'm not losing, I reframe that and I say, okay, for the next 2 months, keep at that level. Don't go up, don't go down. Just practice. And it's very empowering. I find that it's very, thank you for the rose, Brenda. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. That mental shift removes the anxiety, right? Because what is it about like, oh, the scale is not going down? It brings anxiety. Oh, I'm anxious. Okay. When you reframe it as maintenance practice, it takes the anxiety away. It takes the temptation to self sabotage away. And you can now focus on have like mini maintenance practice, because eventually you are going to get to maintenance and you're going to have to like maintain that for your life. Yes. You still have 30 pounds. That's amazing. How much have you lost, Brenda? That's amazing. Congratulations to you. How much have you lost so far? I just want to see like what has your body released versus what does it still have to. 72. Brenda, you are not. Brenda, with all due respect, that's not a plateau. 72. Nah. Mm-mm. So just for you, you are in maintenance practice. Okay. You are in maintenance practice. Yeah. So let's call it that. Right? So there's nothing wrong with you. 72 is huge. That is huge. Do you understand how much weight that is? Your body has done an amazing thing. Amazing thing, Brenda. So we're going to give it grace. We're not going to force it, right? Yeah. And we're going to work with our body to maintain what it has already lost. Does that help? Yeah. And then when your body is ready, it will keep going if it needs to keep going. Yeah. At first, I thought that I wanted to be 180. Right now, I'm about 200. At first, can I tell you why? I'm coming to you. Little Warbell, I'm not ignoring you, my love. I'm coming, I've read your question, so I'm gonna come to you. The reason why I set a goal for myself of 180 is because that's the weight I remember being my first year in college. And I was 18. I was 18 years old. And I was 180 pounds in college. That's the reason why I set that as a goal for myself. My body has told me that it is much more comfortable at 200. And I have chosen to honor my body, not my memory of what I used to be. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So sometimes we just get a number. Sometimes it's not us. Sometimes it's a doctor, or a medical professional from somewhere, or, sometimes we just come up with a number. Part of self-care is actually listening to your body, right? Not listening to your dysfunction, right? Like, there's a difference. Listening to your body is different from listening to a dysfunctional pattern. I'm not talking about listening to a dysfunctional pattern. No, I'm talking about listening to your body. When I approached 200, everything from the way I was training, I noticed that when I kept making effort to go past 200, I started having night sweats. I started like, my body just felt sick. Instantly, I was like, that's it. That's it. 200 it is. 200 it is. At least for now. Maybe in 5 years, my body might be ready. But for right now, 200 it is. So I abandoned that arbitrary number of 180. Yes, I abandoned it. I did. And I chose to honor my body that has kept me alive, my body that has brought life into the world twice, my body that, supported me. I was, go like in spite of just how cruel I was to it in terms of nutrition and lack of movement. And my body still kept me alive. My body still did the best that it could. I am not going to override my body's autonomy. Does that make sense? Yes. So I did have a goal of 180. I abandoned that goal because at 200, my body is functioning. I am strong in the gym. I don't count calories. I'm just able to eat, my regular meals. I'm not excessively hungry. I'm sleeping well. My skin is clear. I don't have any makeup. There's no filter, nothing. I am healthy, 200 pounds. So I'm not going to force my body to accomplish an arbitrary goal that I set for myself based on when I was 18 years old. I am 45 and I have had two children. So I don't even have the body that I did at 18. Why am I trying to be the weight that I was at 18 when I don't have the body that I had at 18? Does that make sense? So, Brenda, I'm not saying that this is you. I'm not saying that this is you or these are your motivations, but I'm just giving you an alternative mindset so that you don't sabotage yourself or you don't begin to put yourself under intense pressure just to achieve an arbitrary number. 72 pounds gone is incredible. You don't even know. Yeah. So maybe let's give your body about 4 to 6 months to just be 72 pounds lighter. Let's forget about the extra 30 for now. Let's just put it on the back burner. Yeah. Let's support your body, right? Can we do that, Brenda? Let's support your body at where it is right now. Having lost 72, let's support your body with hydration, with nutrition, with movement, with strength training, with deep breathing, with meditation, with long walk. Let's do all of that. Self-care, skin care, special lotions, fragrance. Let's support your body holistically after losing 72, right? And give it a chance to settle, right? Give it a chance to make it permanent before we start pushing toward an arbitrary. Does that make sense? That's empowering, right? Like the way I just framed it, it brings a sense of empowerment. Yes. As opposed to a sense of failure because I still have 30 pounds. No, let it go. Let the 30 pounds go. It's okay. Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for the gifts, Brenda. Thank you. Thank you. So, little Werble, while your journey or during your journey, how supportive were your friends? Oh, Werble, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That's a good question. Thank you for asking that. How supportive were your friends and family? My family was supportive. When I say family, I mean like my blood family. My blood family, super supportive, super supportive. Right? It was just never an issue, right? My sisters, super supportive. Mom, supportive. Right? Okay. Friends were a different thing. Friends were a different thing. I have a lot of friends. Okay. I have friends from high school. I have friends from college. I have friends from every decade of my life, and they're still in my life. Yeah. My friends were supportive up until a point. My friends were supportive up until a point. And I think the ones being supportive, they stopped being supportive because they started to feel threatened. When you have been obese all your life, whether they say it with their mouth or not, you are the okay. Let's just be real. Thank you, Lomo Dork. You're looking very good. Thank you. Thank you. You are the fat. Oh, Shay Shay, bye. Oh, Shay Shay left. Okay, bye, Shay Shay. You are the fat. You are the fat. You are the fat. And let me talk about what that means. When you are the fat friend, you are the one that the other friends use to make themselves feel better about their weight or about their body. Yes. So you are that person. So when you are the fat friend, your other friends will think things like this. My life might feel shitty right now, but at least I'm not as big as Arit. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. That becomes the role that you play, not the only role. I'm not saying they don't love you. I'm not saying they don't appreciate you. No, I'm not saying that. But part of your role when you are the fat friend is to be a source of comfort through comparison. I'm going to be very real about this because it's the truth. You are a source of comfort through comparison. Yeah. And so they use the fact that you are big to feel better about them. Now, I have never had a friend that's been bigger than me. Never. Never. I would show some pictures. It's just that I need to blur the face because I need to protect my friend's privacy. But I haven't done that, so I'm not gonna do that. But maybe another live I'll do just to show you. I want to show I'll block their whole face just to show you the difference in body so that you understand what I mean. I have always been the biggest friend. I have never had a friend. So some friends that are shorter than me and also plump. You can't really compare because the height is not the same. But out of all my friends that have been my height or taller, I have always been the bigger one. I have never had a friend bigger than me, fatter than me. I've never. So I have always been the fat. I have always been the fattest friend, right? So even in friendship groups where there's other big girls, I'm the biggest girl. I kid you not. When I started losing, at first they were happy, excited for me, thrilled for me. Oh, girl, you're doing the damn thing. Yes, to a point. Little word about to a point. It got to a point, and this is how you know. This is how you know that you're starting to trigger them. I'll tell you. You're doing too much. Oh, it's beginning to be too much. I feel like you're fine now. If you keep going, you're going to start looking sick. Yes. I started getting those comments. I started getting those comments. Oh, your collarbones are too exposed. It's too much. You're beginning to look bony. Do I look bony? I mean, with my bat weight, like really? Like really? Really? Nah. But like I started getting all those comments. Oh, your cheekbones are too, oh, your face is sunken. Face looks sunken. Your face is sunken. Oh, your cheeks are too hollow. Oh, I had some tell me, oh, you were known for having a big butt, but no longer, a comment started bordering on disrespectful. So it wasn't even just like them telling me like to stop losing or like it's too much, but now they started like commenting on my body. Like, oh, your best feature was your bust, but it's too bad. It's because you lost too much. If you hadn't lost that much, you would still have your butt, or like, oh, your best feature was your ass, but so yeah, so it got to a point where it was like I was doing something wrong, you know? And then like I had other friends that would be like, I'm still getting used to you. Like I had one friend, like I called her on FaceTime. Yes, real talk. I called her on FaceTime and she was like, she answered the phone and she was like, oh, it's so hard getting used to you now. Like there's a picture in my mind of like how I expect you to look. So when I answer the phone and you don't look like that, I feel like I'm talking to a different person. Another thing that I got a lot, and I actually talk about this on my page, is one of my videos. They started commenting on how sexy I was looking. So let me see if I can find some pictures. I think I can show you this visually. Let me find some, because this is a good topic. And I'm so glad you asked this, Little Warble, because like it's real. And this actually has the power to derail people. This has the power to to make people start to self-sabotage because they don't understand why of all the people that should be supporting, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I'm choosing to talk about it, because if you are experiencing this, or if you experience this in the future, I want you to fortify yourself against these comments. And I want you to strengthen yourself internally so that these comments don't derail you, because it can be very demoralizing, especially when these friends know how much you have suffered in that bigger body, how much your health has suffered. Sometimes you don't even share with them. Sometimes we keep friends, but we don't really let friends know how much we're suffering. And so sometimes, and this is one thing with being big. A lot of times when you're big, you overcompensate. You're not comfortable in your body. You're not comfortable in your own vessel. So you find ways to overcompensate. You're cheerier. You crack jokes. You become the comedian of the group. You poke fun at yourself before they can poke fun at you. What that does is it gives your friends the message, or it gives them the feeling that you are fine, that you are not suffering, right? That you are not having a hard time, when in actual fact, you are having a hard time. And so now that you're getting healthier and you're shedding that excess weight and you're feeling better, all of a sudden, you know that you are feeling much better. But they don't know that, because when you were big, you probably didn't let them know the full reality of how much your excess weight was affecting you. So you need to, I don't demonize my friends. They're still my friends. I haven't cut them off. I haven't cut them off. They're still my friends. But I understand, first of all, I give myself grace, but I also understand where they are coming from. They are triggered. They are threatened, because now I'm no longer the fat friend. So they don't have that source of comfort anymore. Now I'm challenging them. Now they're looking at themselves and like, oh, maybe I'm not. But when I was big, it was always a comparison for them to say, I'm not as fat as Art, so I'm okay. I have taken that away from them. I have taken that away from them. So of course they're gonna be discombobulated, right? Of course they're gonna be like, feeling insecure. Yes, of course. Yeah. So I'm not giving an excuse for their behavior, but I'm choosing to understand how they are experiencing my transformation. You have a transformation that you are experiencing, but other people are also going to experience your transformation. And not all their experiences are going to be positive. That's just the truth. But let me share a picture just to demonstrate what I'm about to talk about. Because one of the comments that I started getting from my friends a lot was I was being too sexy. Listen, I was being too, they just kept, oh, like, don't forget you're a child of God. Don't forget you represent God. I just feel like you putting it all out there. You're too, I started getting that comment a lot. Okay. So let's look at the pictures. Okay. This is me. You see me? Okay. So this is me. Okay. This was me at that time. This was me at that time. And I started working out when I got serious in the gym. I got these one pieces because I got so tired of having to adjust my shirt, like I just got tired of adjusting. I just wanted to be able to go to the gym and focus. And so I got these one piece jumpsuits. I have like 4 of them. And that's what I started training. When I started posting and when I started because I don't see my friends every day, right? I don't see my friends every day. So they don't necessarily know what I'm wearing every day. So And even if I see them, it's usually like at a girls' night, at cocktails, so I'm not dressed in the one piece. So it was when I started posting my journey on social media, that's when they got to know how I was working out. Okay. They started making comments. Oh, it's too sexy. It's too revealing. You're showing off everywhere in your body. It's not good. You're not being a woman of character. This is what they were saying to me. Now, what they were referring to was me in the one piece. Oh, it's too revealing. It's showing too much. Okay. But look at me here. Am I wearing a sack? Am I wearing a sack? Am I wearing a gown? Am I wearing a muumuu to work out? No. In both pictures, I am fully covered. In both pictures, I am fully covered. In this picture, the pink and the maroon and the purple, you can see every bulge. You can even see my cellulite. If you look close enough over here, see? You can even see my cellulite on my thigh. You can see every bulge. You can see every roll. Like it's a very tight fitting outfit, right? The shirt and the pants, it's tight because I was big. It had nothing to do with the outfit. It was because my friends never one day complained about the outfit on the left. They never did. They never did. Not one day. Not one freaking day. Not one day did they never complain. Oh, it's too much bulges. Oh, it's showing your bust too much. Oh, never. They never said nothing about figure hugging this workout on the left was. But then I'm in the one piece, and all of a sudden it's a big problem. All of a sudden they were threatened because I look good. I look shapely, hourglass. You know, big hips, little waist. Like that's what it. But see, like, but that's not what they said. You know, that's not what they said. What they said was, it's too revealing. It's too revealing. It's too sexy. It's too shapely. It's not representing you well. They said it's not representing you well. It doesn't make you look a good woman. I am completely covered. The little cleavage you see at the top is just because, my butt, but if I pull it up, you're not even going to see that. Like, I'm completely covered head to toe. And so I'm sharing this not to shame anyone. They're still my friends. I still love them. But I'm telling you that when you start to level up, you will trigger. I never like, because for just so much of my life, I've just always been in the background. I've always been in the background, always been the encouraging friend, always been the one that will pray with you, encourage you, remind you of how awesome, like that was my role in all my friendship groups, right? And then silently, I was the friend that always made them feel better about themselves. So I took that from them. When I lost 160 pounds, I took that from them. And so not only am I still smart, still intelligent, still encouraging, still supportive, still, but now I am hot. They didn't know what to do with that. They didn't know what to do with that. Yeah, they didn't know what to do with that. Yeah. So it's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. And so I get it all the time. You need to stop. You need to stop. It's enough. It's enough. Don't lose anymore. It's too much. You look sick. One friend tell me like people are gonna think you have HIV. That's what she said. I just laughed. I was like, girl, you are really bending over backwards. That's what she said. She was like, people are gonna think you have HIV. People are gonna think. I was like, okay, let them think. Hopefully, if they think that, they'll have the courage to ask me so I can set them straight. Hopefully, they'll have the courage to ask me. You're welcome, little Wurbel. Yes, you're very welcome. Yeah. I wanted to do justice to your question because it's very real. A lot of times, and people say, do you think your friends are jealous? I don't think they're jealous. I don't think they're jealous. I think they're triggered. There's a difference. I think a lot of times we use the word jealous because we don't have the vocabulary for what is actually happening. So we like to default to the word jealous. No, they're not jealous. I know that in their heart, independently, they are happy for me. They are triggered because I have changed the role that they are used to me playing in their lives. Yes, it's a difference. Because if you start focusing on, oh, they're jealous, then there's a temptation to start hating on them. No, I'm not going to hate on my friends. They've been my friends for many years. We've been through so much together. Yes. So I'm not, at least on my end, yes, they're triggered. They're triggered. Eventually, as this new body that I have becomes the norm, they will stop being triggered. They will find a new normal. They will recalibrate. They'll be like, oh, okay, this is our friend now. Yes. So I know that is going to happen. It's just going to take some time. So I'm giving them time to get there. Yeah. So they're not jealous of me. If they were jealous of me, they would actively sabotage me. They would bring things that I'm not, they don't do that. They support me. We go out to eat, yeah. Like it's not that. They're just triggered. They're triggered. They're like, we don't know what to do with this new art. And so it's very real. Yeah. Sometimes, if it's really toxic, they will start to sabotage or they'll just start accusing you. Oh, you think you're better than, yeah. So if it starts coming out like that, then yes, it's different. But I think comments like, oh, don't lose too much, or you know, you don't want people to think you're sick, they're just being triggered. They're just being triggered, and like they're trying to like make sense of it's different, you know. I had some friends who, and these are my friends who were not triggered. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for liking the live. Some friends that were not triggered. And you know what they did? They went into, like, I had a friend who went into her closet and she brought out, all the clothes that she had not worn. When you buy clothes and they just sit in your closet with the tag on? She went in, it was so sweet. She went in and she brought all those clothes out that she hadn't worn, still had the tags on them. And she looked at them to see, oh, would this fit Arit now? Or would this be her size? And she brought all those clothes out and she gave them to me. She gave them to me. She's like, girl, you can fit these clothes now. Go ahead and get, some cute jeans and some cute top. And she just brought, stuff that she hadn't worn, like that was just sitting in her closet. And she just brought everything out and she gave them to me. And she was like, girl, you look good, girl. Let's dress you up. And it was helpful for me because I am not trying to spend a pretty penny on a new wardrobe. Like, I'm not. I'm a very minimalist in my lifestyle. So I wasn't trying to like get a hold. So I've been trying to make what I've had work. I've had to throw some things away, but I'm still trying to make my old clothes work. And so one day, I think, because she told me, she said, one day I saw you like wearing what you used to, and you put a belt, it just didn't look good. So instead of criticizing me, she just went into her closet and brought out all this unworn stuff, like she knew was going to fit me now. And she just gave them to me. It was very nice. It was just it's just such a show of support. Yeah, it was very nice. Yeah. But I do have some friends like that, but a lot of them just were triggered. Let me delete this picture. Yeah, a lot of them were very triggered. They were like, we don't know, like, why is she acting brand new? And I'm not acting brand new. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying being smaller. I'm enjoying being, like I'm enjoying my success. Yeah, but I think some of them, they felt like they just didn't have that friend anymore. They didn't have the fat friend anymore to use for comfort or like for comparison. Yes. It's okay. We're working through it. I'm giving them grace and I'm giving them time. Yes. And it also helps being over 40, You get to my age, like you start to have more perspective. Things don't like get you all riled up the way they used to. Yes. So that helps as well. So I'm able to just look and giggle about it and just be like, girl, I'm still the same person, like I'm able to take it lightly, I don't take it like super heavy. Yeah. For you, Bella, you are so encouraging. Thank you for being transparent. You're welcome. Yes. You're very welcome. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good question. Thank you for asking that. That was a very good question. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So I don't know if you have any more questions. I don't know what I can talk about. I feel like I've covered all the topics. Yeah. But, breaking the start stop cycle, it really starts with stop negotiating. I think a lot of times when you have a start stop cycle is because there's a part of you that is still negotiating with the price of what you want. Okay. What you want is to lose weight. What you want is to get healthy. What you want is to start exercise. Okay. But you're still negotiating. There's still a part of you that wants to have your cake and eat it too. Negotiating, just pay the price, right? Like there's going to be aspects of your old life that you're going to have to leave behind. You're just going to have to leave them behind. When I started strength training, because of my children and my work, I could only go at 5 a.m. in the morning. The only time I could go. I couldn't go during the day because of work. I couldn't go in the evenings because my children have extracurriculars every day, right? I couldn't go at night because when I would go at night, I wouldn't sleep well because going to lift weights and then right after sleep, So the only time that I could go was before they woke up, which was 5 a.m. because they wake up at 7. Okay? So that's the only time I could go. But it was hard because I love to sleep. Sleeping is my superpower. I love to sleep. And so I tried home workouts. Home workouts didn't work for me. You know, I have friends who have home gyms. I can never do a home gym because there's just something about going somewhere to work out that helps me. When I try to do it at home, I make excuses. I get distracted. But when I go to the gym, there's nothing distracting me. I'm there. Yes. So I tried the home gym. It didn't work for me because I'm easily distracted. Or like, because I know it's at home, I wouldn't wake up at 5. I would snooze till 5:30, and then I would snooze till 6, and then I would snooze till 6:30. And then before you know it, I don't have any time to do the workout before my kids will arrive. So I stopped negotiating. I stopped trying to have my cake and eat it too. And so I got my ass at 5 a.m. and I went to the gym. And once I got there, I worked out and I came back. Then I did it the next day. And then I did it. I stopped negotiating. And then I lost 160 pounds in 15 months. because I stopped negotiating. Yeah. That's a big mental thing. Breaking the start stop cycle is not about the plan. It's not about what you're doing. It's about how you think about what you're doing. It's mental. It's not the thing. And so what a lot of us do is we start a plan or we start something and like we're not consistent because we're still negotiating with the price of that thing. And so instead of changing our mental, we change the thing. That's what we do. We change. So, okay, at first I was doing OMAD. Okay, I'm not doing OMAD anymore. I'm doing ADF, alternate day. Okay, I'm not doing we keep changing the thing. We don't realize that the problem is here. It's not the thing. It's up here. Yes. Yeah. It's up here. And so stop negotiating with the price of what you want. The price of the body you want is this thing, this thing, this thing. Just do it. Let's talk a little bit about nutrition because that trips a lot of people up. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm used to eating this particular way. I don't feel like I can change. Okay, let me help. Let me give you a tip. Let me give you a trick. Stop taking things away, start adding things. So let me give an example. Let's say your typical day of meals in the morning, you have sugary cereal with orange juice. Okay? I'm just giving an example. In the morning, you have sugary cereal with orange juice. In the afternoon, you have a huge bowl of pasta, just pasta and marinara sauce. There's no protein, there's no just pasta. In the evening, you have pizza. Just have greasy pizza, right? So that's your typical day. Okay. A lot of times when you want to get healthy, what people will do is they will change all of that. Instead of like the cereal, they'll change their cereal to like maybe eggs and turkey sausage. And you hate turkey sausage, but you go ahead and force it, and you get rid of the cereal. And then, maybe for lunch, they will have like chicken breast and rice, right? And then for dinner, something else. Like you change everything. It's not smart because if you've been having cereal, pasta, and pizza for 10 years as a typical day of meals, you're not just going to switch that up on your body and think that your body is just going to be okay with it. So, this is a technique that I use with the women that I coach. We don't take away, we don't subtract, we add. No subtraction, only addition. So, if I were coaching that person, what I would do is I would say, okay, before you eat your sugary cereal and drink your orange juice, I want you to have 16 ounces of water before the orange juice. Don't cut the orange juice, keep it. Drink water before the orange juice. Before you eat the sugary cereal, I want you to have a Greek yogurt. And then you can dive into your cereal bowl. With the pasta and the sauce, I will say, I want you to get like a or like 2 cups of mixed vegetables, right? The crunchy, the chewy type. And I want you to eat that 2 cup of vegetables before your pasta. And then in your pasta, I want you to take chicken and just shred it into your pasta. Don't change the amount of pasta. Don't change the amount of sauce. Keep everything the same. I just want you to shred chicken into it. And then when you're eating your pasta, I want you to target the chicken first. So mix it all up, cover the chicken in the sauce or whatever. But I want you to take your fork and I want you to target your chicken first. I want you to eat about 70 to 80% of the chicken before you start the. And then for the dinner, something similar. We'll find something to add to the pizza. You keep doing that. You keep adding instead of subtracting, just add. Let me tell you what happens. First of all, you don't trigger scarcity. The reason why a lot of diets backfire is because when you subtract something that your body is so used to getting, your body immediately goes into crisis mode. Why are you switching up on me? What is going on? The sky is falling. Yes. And so it triggers a sense of scarcity, a sense of lack. Even though what you're taking away is less healthy, but your body doesn't know it's less healthy. All your body knows is that that's what I'm used to. Okay? And so when you take it away, your body just goes into like panic mode. Yeah. When you add, you don't trigger that response. You don't trigger the scarcity response, the lack response when you add. Okay? And so that's one good thing about this technique, right? The second good thing is you are introducing healthier to your body without like forcing your body to change all at once. So it's like, we do it with kids, we'll replace, So what you're doing is you're doing like a replacement, not like a subtraction and then forcing something new. No, you're not doing that. You're adding it. Eventually, if you stay consistent with this approach, eventually you can push the unhealthy thing out. Eventually. Yeah. So, like, you have the Greek yogurt. In addition to the Greek yogurt, you'd be like, let me add some fruit. And then when you get to the cereal, you already have Greek yogurt in your belly. And there's like some satiety from the protein in the yogurt, right? So now the cereal, you're not as hungry, you're not as like famished. And so you might have a little bit of cereal, but you're probably not. Eventually, you eat less of the cereal. Eventually, you might forego the cereal altogether, but it's not going to trigger scarcity because you didn't start with foregoing the cereal. See? You didn't start with that. You added something before the cereal, and then you still had the cereal. So your body's like, oh, nothing's, okay. I'm still getting what I'm used to. Okay, this yogurt, I don't know where this yogurt is coming from, but so you kind of trick your mind, right, into not going into crisis mode. That's how I did it. Because I had horrible eating habits, just horrible. That's how I did it. I would always eat my protein first. Yeah. So going back to breakfast, if your breakfast is usually carb heavy, is like cereal or like bread or just something like really carb heavy, protein before. So fry up some eggs and eat, even if it's one egg, eat one egg before your cereal. Oh, but it doesn't go together. It doesn't have to go together. You're not a commercial. Okay. Like, who cares? Like, no one's filming you to make a commercial out of what you're eating for breakfast. So it doesn't have to go together. Fry up an egg and eat the egg before you have your cereal. Before you drink the juice, drink 16 ounces of water for your juice, right? With your lunch, eat the vegetables before, or like eat the vegetables and the protein before the carb part of your lunch. And just keep doing it for 6 months or 9 months. I guarantee you, especially if you pair it with strength training, I guarantee you, eventually your body will be like, you know what? This protein is really good. I feel better on the protein. I don't have the sugar spikes anymore. I don't have the energy slumps anymore, right? And so you phase out, or at least you minimize the importance of what you used to eat. And then the things that you have been eating before the things you used to eat now become the main thing. So that's a trick that I use. And I use that with my clients all the time. A lot of what starts this start stop cycle, a lot of what triggers start stop cycle is trying to switch up on your body too quickly. Trying to switch up on your body too quickly. Your body is no matter how shitty your nutrition is, your body is used to it. Don't underestimate that. Don't think that you can just switch up on your body. No, you can't. Your body is used to what it has always been getting. And you can't ignore that. You can't pretend that that isn't the case, right? Yeah. So that's a strategy that I use and I coach my clients to use, and it works wonders. It's amazing. It takes a while. It's not like magic. You'll be doing this for about 3 months before your body begins to get the message that, oh, okay, nothing is wrong, nothing is broken, the sky isn't falling, like it takes, but eventually your body will catch up. Yeah. So that's a trick. That's a tip. That's a strategy that you can use. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Everyone who's here, please could you tap your screen like 10 times? Just give me 10 likes. Tap, 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 tap. Just 10 times if you're here. It helps me. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ohene Nana Yere. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate you. Thank you. You. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Okay. Well, if I don't have any more questions, I'm going to end it here. If I don't have any more questions, because when does the Super Bowl start today? I think it's 6:30 Eastern. When does it start? I think it's like 6:30 Eastern. I'm going to go ahead and end it here so that those who want to, get ready for the game can go get ready for the game. I'm going to go get ready for the game. But this was fun. I've been gone for about 6 weeks, so it's good to be back. I usually go live every Sunday at 6:30 Eastern. Today I went live earlier because of the Super Bowl. Typically, I go live on Sundays, 6:30 Eastern. If this resonated with you, yes, you love to have more of this. Absolutely. Well, I'm here to give it to you. Yes. So if this was helpful, if this was supportive, encouraging, do come back. I would love to have you back. Yes, but I will keep sharing. I will keep answering questions. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you can just click the link in my bio or send me a DM and we can talk about it. There's no obligation. I don't do hard sells. I don't pay bills with my coaching. I have a job. I have a full-time job and I have businesses. I like to say that because a lot of times on this fitness creators, like, and this is no shade. I follow a lot of fitness creators. I love them all. Like sometimes there's like a fear, like, oh, is it gonna be a hard set? No, like I ain't trying to get richer for y'all. So um, my coaching is really focused on support and empowerment. And I coach in such a way that you do not need me for a long time. I'm not interested in coaching you for a year. I'm not interested in coaching you for yeah, I really am not. I'm all about empowerment. So in my coaching, I empower you so that you don't need me anymore. Yes, that's how I do it. Yeah. That's how I do it. Is to give you the tools, give you the foundation, and then just go and Mhm. Yes, P9L. Lady Z, what did you mean to write, my love? I don't understand. But yeah, so if you would like to work with me one-on-one, just click the link in my bio. Or you can DM me and let you know what services I have. You can choose the one that's best for you. But for free help, free support, just keep joining my lives. Here, I'll answer questions and you can get free support, in my life. Yeah. Okay. All right, people, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I will see you in the next one. All right. Go Seahawks. Go Seahawks. Okay. Mwah. Bye, everyone. Bye bye. Okay. It was good. It was good. It was good.